All right, let's sing a song really quick. Actually, let's just talk. Let's just talk. All right. What do I have to talk about? I'm going to say a bunch of weird personal shit. If you don't want to hear weird personal shit, just turn me off. Anyway, what do I have to say? Well, I took an edible last night. I haven't smoked marijuana in like 20 years. And get to the point, Sean. I vaguely remember marijuana making me really paranoid and feel really crazy. And so I took an edible yesterday. I went to this store in Richmond. I guess they legalized marijuana, and so I just bought some edibles, and I took one gummy, and just like I remembered, it just brings up a lot of fear, tons of fear. I was just sitting, after about an hour or two, I just started to be like, whoa, this is really scary. And so I just basically lied on the floor or lied on my bed for like 2 hours, and just kept saying to myself, it's just a drug, it'll pass, like, you'll be okay. It's just the drug, it'll pass, you'll be okay. But it's interesting to get like a different life perspective. It's interesting to sort of like be like, oh, like maybe I'm seeing things from the wrong way. And I'm not really sure there is a right way, but there's definitely a more common way. Get to the point, Sean. Well, like, basically, I'm just holding out in my room. I'm holding out in my dad's house. I don't want to grow up. I don't want to... That's the gist of it is, work is really boring. And I went to school for art, and I really love doing art, but it seems like it never pans out into a job that I can do, because I'm so freaked out all the time. It seems like... I don't know. It seems like, basically, like, I'm a human that just has a lot of fear, and that becomes a problem if you want to like sustain a career that requires a lot of thinking. Maybe I should just go get some sort of like mailman job, but it's so boring. It's so boring to just go and deliver boxes all day and just think like, this is your life. This is most of your time, and it's going to be like this for a long time. And I can't stand the unpleasantry of that. Basically, I just feel like I want to have fun. I want to have a fun job. And I honestly don't understand how most people do a job without being like, I want to have fun. But I think, I don't know, my conclusion is just that most people are just stronger people than me. But it seems like I can do it. Like when I took this edible last night, I started to get scared for a minute that like, shit, like maybe I won't be able to function if my parents disappear. But I will be able to. I'm just dragging my feet. I've done jobs many a time, but they're just so boring. It's so boring to go to some like Home Depot place or some, there's a lot of basic jobs out there that just help you to pay the bills. And so if I have to manage my own house and manage my own life, I'll go get a Home Depot job. But I'm just basically dragging my feet for as long as possible because I just feel like that's it's kind of like that's checkmate. It's checkmate. And I'm very scared about losing control of my life. Like, I don't want to get caught in the well, now you got a job, and now you got some bills, and then you should go buy this stuff. Let's go buy this thing. And then you have, like, a credit card, and then you got to pay your credit card, and then it's like, it's just, I hate that whole sea of buying and selling crap. I just want to be like, no, like, let me just stay out of that. I wish I could do, like, a better life, though. I mean, I wish I could have, like, friends and, do some good in the world. I've been sending $100 a week to these people in Africa for like food and shoes for kids who don't have food and stuff. And that seems like the one good thing that I'm doing, where it's like it would be nice to have a job to like help other people, but every job that I get that's not an art job just feels so boring. It's so boring, I can't stand it. And so I just listen to Joe Rogan. I just listen to Joe Rogan all day, and Joe Rogan sort of enables my aversion to jobs. He says, you shouldn't do a job, you should just pursue your dream. I wonder if he's sort of, I don't think he's consciously doing this, but I wonder if a little bit of that is that he knows that there's just a lot of people marooned at their parents' basement, listening to him all day. And he's like, don't go get a job. You should just listen to me all day. Listen to me all day and just do your dream. Do whatever you're doing. Write your book. Do your pottery. Make your art or whatever. No, I don't know. I've heard from a lot of people, not just on Joe Rogan podcast, but just people that I respect in general, that they say, don't just like chase money. Actually, it's the number one common fear, or it's the number one regret from people on their deathbed, is they say, I wish I didn't just work so hard and chase money. I wish I kind of lived the life I want. And so I just feel like the life I want seems to be, don't work, don't avoid work like the plague, and just live off your dad and just have fun. So I don't know, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to hold on to my childhood lifestyle of fun and games, but it gets hard. It gets hard the older I get, and I want to make sure I don't go crazy. Crazy's a weird term because there's no real like flat out definition for it. But you can, I think, just become so different from other people. People think, he's crazy. But I feel like I can explain my lifestyle pretty easily. I mean, there's a logical reason for everything I'm doing. I just don't want to go make a bunch of money. I don't want to get caught in a trap of like make money to spend money to buy a bunch of things you don't need to make money. I don't want to do a bunch of things that I don't want to buy a bunch of garbage that I don't need. I keep telling myself that, but I feel like, I don't know, in my memory, every time I've gotten a job, I'm like, this sucks. Like, why am I doing this? And then I'm like, the people are like, I don't know, why are you doing it? Why are you at the job? And I thought, well, I thought that's what you're supposed to do. But the truth is, like, I just don't need the money. And so I'm just like, no, don't. Keep that job away from me. But loneliness is encroaching. I have to fend off loneliness in order to sustain this. And so for a long time I've been sitting on Twitch. I'm just hiding from adult life, and I've been hiding it on Twitch, but now Twitch has banned me. They IP banned me, and so like that's really that's a drag because it really was wonderful to just kind of do your art. I was just doing my arts and crafts, and then I felt like I had this little collective of people who would come to my channel and say, hey, it's Sean, like he's doing his arts and crafts. But now I feel alone, not so good, but I'll be fine. Boy, that edible experience was really, I'm not going to do any more edibles for a long time. It was terrifying. It just occurred to me, it was like the most fearful I could be, and I was just thinking to myself, just don't start like screaming and get put in like a mental institution. And I thought, I'm not going to scream, I'll just relax. It's nice to know that I can get to my most fearful, like it just, what's that phrase from Roosevelt? Roosevelt said, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. And I think that edible experience was basically dragging me down to my, if fear is like a emotion from like 1 to 10, my fear was like at a 10 pretty much for me. And the whole time I was just thinking like, this will pass, this will pass, this will pass. And I survived it. So I feel like, okay, it's good to know that if I'm confronted with a ton of fear, if I just kind of put my head down and breathe, I can endure it. I'm pretty good at enduring. I'm not very good at I don't know, a lot of the other macho stuff. Anyway, okay, what's the point, Sean? What are we doing here? Just avoiding work. All I'm doing is I'm avoiding work. I'm avoiding getting a real job, and I'm trying to stave off loneliness. I've got this 3D art job that I'm doing for this company, but it's really like, it's just barely sustainable. It's not really. It's not. I mean, I guess it's a job enough, but I feel like I should just do it. But it feels like if if my dad was out of the picture, it wouldn't be able to sustain me in terms of like bills and gas and food. Could it? I don't know. I'd probably have to rent out some rooms or something like that. I don't know, like what's important to a person. I feel like I've heard a lot of people say that like your job is your life. Like getting a job that you really love and like, it's one of the most important things, because that's your life. Like that's most of where you spend your time is your job. And so if you don't have a good job, your life, if your job kind of sucks, it seems like your life kind of sucks. And so I just don't want to pass the time doing something that I hate. I don't want to be miserable all day long. So that's my reason for not getting a job. My reason for not getting a job is I don't need the money, and I don't want to be miserable all day for just a bunch of garbage I don't want to buy. But it would be nice to keep sending money to people in Africa. So what's my point? Just I'm trying to reassure myself, like let's just keep hiding here and just not getting a job. What are most people doing? I was reading about this guy, Prime Minister Johnson. People are upset with him, and he might get like pushed out of office. And it occurred to me, like, I don't know, maybe there is maybe there are some things wrong with me, because it seems like there's a lot of adults who are more concerned with, like, I don't know, managing the world or helping people. Or I wonder why somebody like that Johnson guy, like, why is he doing that? Why are some people out there in the world kind of urgently concerned with solving other people's problems and stuff? And I wonder why I don't seem to have that. Is that like some adult thing that I don't have? What's your point, Sean? I don't know. I should probably what's weird about taking those edibles too is that it makes you kind of paranoid, and then it makes me have all these like paranoid, like a constant paranoid idea I have is like maybe there's something wrong with me that I don't even notice. Like somebody who's retarded sometimes doesn't even know that they're retarded. And I think to myself, like, am I possibly, like, do I have some sort of degenerate brain that's like obvious to everybody else but me? And I think to myself, like, am I like a retarded person? Is there something wrong with me? I don't know. I mean, I feel like if I'm looking at this guy right now, I'm going to shut up in a second. But just if I look at myself right now, my reasons for doing everything I'm doing seem pretty sane. I mean, I'm live streaming because I don't want to feel alone. I'm constantly doing this thing where I want somebody to like me. I want to be cute because I want some girl or somebody to just like me. It's really scary for me to think about being like unlikable. And I realize like a lot of what I'm doing is like presenting my face to the world and hoping somebody will love me or like me. And I keep wondering, is that is that because of sex? Like, am I just hoping that some girl is going to want to have sex with me? And is that normal? Is that what everybody's doing? Or are some people not doing that? Or should I not want sex? Is that like some sort of degenerate thing? Or do you have to somehow appease that? I don't know. I'm just looking at myself being like, what am I doing? Anyway, okay, let's get on with the day, Sean. I am definitely worried about being alone. I'm worried about being alone because it can be kind of depressing. But I just, for the love of God, I just don't want to get exploited for my loneliness. I feel like if you're alone, you can end up with some people in your life who are just kind of like, I'll stay with you, but it's gonna cost you. Like, I feel like that's kind of what happened to my dad. Is he was lonely, and then he had some person who came into his life who just kind of like used him, said like, you better do what I say or you're gonna be alone. And I think to myself, like, fuck, I don't want that. I feel like there's some sort of live stream life in the future that I feel like, can I just do this? Can I just live stream to the world and feel like I'm not alone? But I probably shouldn't be paranoid. I probably could find a spouse who I actually got along with, who wasn't sort of like using me. I worry about like, if I got a spouse like most people do, I worry that that spouse would just use me, that she'd just sort of be like, you know, I got plans for you. You're going to get a house, and I want a kid, and I want a house, and you're going to buy them. But I think it's possible to have somebody who's not like that. Just somebody who likes to do what I like to do. What do I like to do? I like to just do art all day, as much as possible. I want to do like good work, walk dogs, help people. That's really mostly all I want to do. Is I just want to do art, get paid for it somehow, if possible. I mean, it seems like I'm good enough that I should be able to do that, but it might not make a lot of money. And then like go on, not feel alone would be nice. And then what, Sean? Walk some dogs, help some people in Africa or something. Just do some good in the world. All right, well, let's try to do that. Okay. So what's the plan? Let's just try to keep our job. I'll try to keep going on Tinder and trying to find a spouse. Somebody be like, okay, can we just get along and stay stable? Can you help me to just stay stable? I'll be fine regardless, spouse or no spouse, but gotta keep going.